Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Travis, that's my dad, his name is Rick, and today we are up here in a town called Yarnell, Arizona. Kind of off the beaten path. Neither of us have been here before because I bought this 1960 Pontiac wagon. I think this is a safari wagon.
A safari.
And I have never bought a wagon before for the channel, and I'm super excited about this. I think wagons are cool.
Oh, wagon.
I like wagons. I like the look of wagons. I just haven't found the right one for me that I wanted to buy, and this is right up my alley. I love the styling of General Motors, so I'm glad that it's a Pontiac. I've seen a few Chryslers, but I like this Pontiac Bonneville, and I like it because it's complete. It's all there. It's got its bumpers, it's got all the trim, it's got the fender emblems, it's got the door handles. Look at all of this. Look at all of this stainless steel trim around the windows. That's all there, all the glass is there, and the big one is this windshield. The windshield's not cracked, the windshield's in it. Look at the roof. These got beat up. The roofs of these got caved in, and it's so hard to fix these roofs because of the way that they're shaped. They're so big and they're so long, and if they're caved in, it's hard to fix. It's not rotted out. Like right here, they rot out real bad around the windows, around this trim. Look at this. It's just sunbaked. I think it's an Arizona car. It's not rust free entirely. It's got some stuff here, some there, but so what? I wouldn't call that rotted out in the slightest. Look at the rockers there. They're all still there. I mean, this is a totally acceptable amount of rust for something this old. I'm not worried about that at all. Look at the trim on the going out the back. This is like my favorite part. Look at these like afterburner style taillights with this little streak right here, this little brow. I just think that's so cool. It's just such a cool look. You got reverse lights, you got your license plate holder, Bonneville. We're missing one, is there two L's in Bonneville? Yeah, two L's. I think we're missing an L. But we have a lot of stuff in here, and it could be in there. I haven't looked. He said he's got all the hubcaps, so here's the hubcaps. And then the only thing that's like out is the window here. So this window they took out, but it's in the back, and here's the regulator for it. Why they took it out, I don't know, but they took it out. And this right here, see, the windshield is expensive, but you can still get a windshield if you need to. But this glass right here, I think Dad did a 59 Chevy wagon. Here up on a Chevy wagon, like the glass, the roof line is almost identical. And if this glass is broke, they do not make it. So, because it's not just flat, it's got curvature right here. So that having those intact is very important. What's that say?
Brotherhood of the Railroad Trains?
Brotherhood Railroad Trainmen.
Trainmen, oh.
This is an Arizona plate, 73. I don't see a registration sticker, so I don't know what year it possibly may have been last registered. But the gentleman I bought it from said that it sat up in Flagstaff, which is another cold country town part of Arizona. He sat there for like 30 years outside. So, and I can totally tell it sat out here in Arizona just because of the way the paint, like when cars sit out in the Midwest, they look a certain way, but when they sit outside for decades in Arizona, they almost look like they were in an oven. Like it looks like it was baked and charred. So I can tell it just sat out here in Arizona. And the engine, golly, I don't know what size engines these had, I'm gonna be honest. Do you know what size Pontiac engines had in 1960?
I don't know, I doubt if it's a 389.
I'm not sure what size the engine was for Pontiac, I'll be honest with you. But I do know, one thing I looked up before I bought this was I wanted to make sure that it didn't have what you call the Slim Jim transmission. They're notoriously bad. And 61 to 64 was the Slim Jim transmissions. This is 60, so it should have a 4-speed Hydromatic or a 4-speed Jetaway, which is better than a Slim Jim. Notoriously not good transmissions. But coming into the engine bay, if you see belts on something and hoses, that That's usually a good sign that nothing was taken apart or robbed. So we got power steering, you got power brakes, which is kind of cool. Single pot master. I don't know if it's got a 2 or a 4 barrel under there, but it's just new enough to have an air filter element and not an oil bath. Got ourselves a, I'm sure, a 12 volt generator. 1960, it was, I think it was 12 volt by then. What do we got for oil?
He said it's full, but he said
It is full of oil, but he said the engine's locked up. He said it's locked up solid. He said he never tried to start it, but he knows it's locked up. Maybe he tried pulling the fan, or I don't know how extensive he tried to get it unlocked.
It's got a Kmart oil filter on it.
Kmart? No way.
So I would, that's somewhere 70s.
Where are you seeing that? Oh, look at that.
It's got a Kmart oil filter.
Kmart. That's funny.
So we know that we can date it somewhere in the 70s, 80s.
Where did you see that? Montgomery Ward's?
Montgomery Ward Auto Club. Look, oh, and that's an extension of it. $200 reward to be paid for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for the theft of an automobile owned by this member.
Look at that, Montgomery Ward. That's neat.
Now you know that's
So that's
70s.
old. That's old. Let's see what the inside is looking like. Yeah, interior's roach from the Arizona sun, to be expected. We got a rust hole in the floor. Well, is what it is. Got our dash, Bonneville emblem, sun-baked padding. Let's see what the mileage says. Mileage says 93,206. Check that out. Magic Cruise. Must have been an early form of cruise control. Never seen that before. That's interesting. I hope all the equipment is under the hood for that, because I'd like to see how that works. That's fascinating. I'm sure this is Ashtray City. Yeah. Oh, we don't have our thing. Nah, nothing too cool in there. I'm just glad that this thing isn't full of rat turds. We've been getting a lot of vehicles lately that are full of rat crap and rat turds and rat house. So kind of nice to get one that's semi-clean. One of the coolest features about these old cars, these old wagons, is this seat folds all the way forward and it makes this whole area flat so you could sleep, you know, if you wanted to go camping or whatever. So I think that's cool. What?
55 model trailer.
Yeah, it's a 55 model right here. And somebody redid it. Like, look, they did the seats, are reupholstered. It's got the original, or original looking, oven, stove. Look at that. Modern air with the penguin. Modern metal. I love that. That's so cool. It's got like original Formica countertops, nice bed. Look at everything's like chicken. You know, it's got like chicken curtains, chicken bedding. Check this out. This is an ice box, I think. I don't think this is a refrigerator. Modern metal manufacturing. That's so cool. I love this old stuff. It's so neat. And look at the wood. When people redo these, they always paint this white. I can't stand that. I love the original wood look of these. And you know what? I gotta be honest. I'm kind of digging the chicken theme, rooster theme of the inside. It's kind of cutesy. Got the window. You got all the original handles. This thing is so cool. Painted some chickens in there. I don't know. I like this thing. I may get this. I don't know. But I just love this little trailer. It's the cutest thing ever, man. Got the old checkered floors. Totally 50s. I'm also jealous of this. He sold this a week or two ago, man. I'm so mad. This is right up my alley. I don't know what he sold it for, but God, this truck is perfect. 47 to 53 Chevy Advanced Design half-ton short bed pick-em-up truck. This is classic. This truck is just perfect. Look, it's got the Chevrolet tailgate. Oh, the wood is still there. This thing is cool. Look, seat, dash, steering wheel, everything. This truck is so me, dude. Look at how nice the grill is. I know.
Drooling.
I'm drooling, man. This truck is so nice. You never find them in this shape, ever. The problem with these trucks is twofold. The twofold is you either see them absolutely done for $30, $40, $50,000, or you see them in total like half done project condition because they're popular to restore, but nobody ever finishes them. So every time you see them on Marketplace, it's like they want, they're ripped in a million pieces, but they still want $10,000, $8,000 for it because they swear, I got an S10 frame, I got an LS for it, I got all the mounts to make it work, but I just, you know, couldn't find time. You know, it comes with a story, and they swear they have all the parts and pieces to put it together, and they want a price for it as if it was done, but it's not, and there's always things missing, and you know, so this is how you want to find them before it's $30,000 and before someone's tore it up and hasn't finished it. So this is just perfect. Oh well, the Pontiac is cool.
I love the Pontiac.
Yeah,
I do. I like the Pontiac.
Yeah, it's
it.
all about the Pontiac today. I love this car too. I never have had a wagon.
But it says Safari. So
where does it say Safari?
Where was it? I seen it.
It says it on the title.
Yeah, but it says it on the car.
Does it say it on the back?
Oh, right here. It's a Pontiac Safari.
Safari.
It's a cool car.
Reminds me of the Beach Boys, Surfing Safari.
Dude, this car with nice set of rims and tires on it, it's gonna really pop.
Oh yeah.
And once it gets all dried out and you get it cleaned out and I think that motor, it's not full of water, so I bet it comes loose.
Find somewhere to hook it?
Yeah, I just hook it onto the bottom of this A-frame. Okay, I think that'll be all right. I think that'll be all right.
Oh, is it in park?
Oh. Okay.
There you go. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Wait. Okay.
All right, we're out of here and we're on our way back to Tucson, about probably 3.5, 4 hour drive back. just pulled up with the Pontiac, and Dad saw this. Look at this, guys. Wow, that's got to be one of Elon Musk's rockets. That's got to be SpaceX.
Usually it was, but he don't shoot them out of California no more, does he?
I don't know where he shoots them out of now, but that has to be SpaceX. Wow, isn't that beautiful? Look at that going across the sky. Look it up on your phone. Did Elon Musk shoot a rocket off? It may be for Starlink.
Okay.
What's it say?
Well, yes, Elon Musk company frequently launches rockets, but most notably they're massive.
Ask, did Elon shoot a rocket today?
Did Elon shoot a rocket off today? Yes. Okay, Falcon 9. On the very first mission of 2026, January 2nd.
Okay, so where did it come from?
Oh yeah, from California.
He shot it off from California. What's
Yeah.
it for? Starlink or something? Aiming to send an Italian Earth-observing satellite into orbit.
Okay.
Aiming to send an Italian Earth-observing satellite into orbit.
Okay. All right. It's getting farther away, ain't it?
Man, Elon's crazy, man. He is the genius of our time. Look, it must have just busted off or got rid of something because the chemtrail or whatever stopped, and you can see just the unit. It's not the water pump that's locked up. Sometimes if the water pump's locked up and you try and turn it, you can misdiagnose and it's actually the water pump not turning instead of the crank being locked up. So the motor may be locked up. I can feel the bolt tightening. It's not a good sign. Nope. It's got tranny fluid. spark plugs don't look too bad. The one on the left looks the most dirty, but I mean, that looks like they were burning hot, which is all the more weird that the engine would be locked up. Come over to these ones, you know. Sometimes you'll get a spark plug that looks real rusty on the threads and on the end there, but I'm not seeing any cylinder that looks rusty, which it usually shows up on the spark plug. I think that Kmart oil filter is just classic to see that on there. I used to go to Kmart when I was a kid. There was I think 1 or 2 Kmarts in Tucson, but they're long gone now. I think one of the last ones in the US that was open was in New Jersey. Now, just how do they expect you to get this cover off with the exhaust right over it? And a cigarette butt fell out, I think. Look at that. Wow. Oh man, I did spray some stuff down the cylinders, just FYI. Oh boy, it is locked up. Man, I'm surprised it's that locked up. I got a different actual crowbar. Ugh. Whoa. Oh my. Whoa. It is crazy how full that is. Feels like the muffler's full too. Oh, it sounds just like it's full. Look at all this. Wow, that's odd. Put these bolts back up in here because the way a mechanic can lose a bolt on a hard, flat concrete floor is a thing of legend. I don't know how it works. I know the engine's locked up, but I want to make sure there is no possible resistance from any of the accessories, because I have had it before where they'll be locked up. Had to make sure. It's going a little bit. Wonder why it'll go this way, not the other way. Not feeling a hard stop yet. There it is. Let's get the big one. See if we can get past it. Maybe a rust ridge or something. Come on, we gotta get. If we get past it once, you'll get past it every time. So we're gonna jump to plan B, and that's gonna be putting a mixture of Marvel acetone and diesel down the cylinders. yeah, we're not going to be able to get to the one behind the generator, so we're just going to hope that's not our cylinder. That one's full. Hit that hard spot. I got down there again and tried to move it, and I got it to move a hair bit further, but still it's stuck solid. So take the valve covers off, see what the valves look like, make sure we're not having any binding there. Well, all seem to be working. It's about quitting time. So I put more of my concoction in all 8 cylinders, and we'll come back tomorrow and see if that did anything, because just now I cranked on it pretty hard and I got it to move a little bit. Some more fluid came out one of the back cylinders, which it wouldn't do before. So maybe if we leave it overnight, we'll get lucky in the morning. Because even if it was a valve problem or a push rod problem, by moving the engine that hard with the pry bar, it would honestly bend the push rod. A hard stop like that is something in the cylinder. So we'll see what kind of luck we have tomorrow. We've been sitting overnight now. Let's see if we helped ourselves out any here. I know we're bound to hit it. Getting some junk out of there now. Yep, there it is. Let's see if we can get past it today. Whoa. Oh, dude. This is bad. This one's bad. What in the world can be causing that? I jacked the car up so I could have a little more leverage. I got it. I think I got it. I got it. There it went. There it goes. Now go backwards.
A little bit hard right there. Oh boy. There it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, whatever it was just a...
Well, it was just a rust ridge ring.
Evidently, I guess.
It was a bad one.
Oh boy. Ooh.
Get that big one on there.
We've seen this before. There it went. Yeah, got past
Get
it.
past it?
Yeah, it seems to. Hopefully when we're done, maybe she'll be a beauty. Well, ain't got no water in it. Not a drop. Might be getting to the bottom of why they quit driving it.
Did it come out?
See, it looked like it broke off.
It did look like it broke.
But it didn't.
Go ahead and jack it up. Oh, it's coming up.
Should be.
Yep, for sure. Raising the engine up.
Is that about as high as we need it, or?
I don't know. Try and get it out of there.
Well, let's see if it'll go up a hair bit higher. The higher we can get it, the better off we're going to be. Tell me if it's going up.
Nah, we're not going up with the engine.
Okay,
I think it's high enough. Knock it with something. I don't know. Oh.
There it is. Yeah, this is going to have to come off.
Ain't gonna do it?
Nope. That motor ain't going up any higher. I'm sure if we drop this down, it'll drop it off.
Yeah. Oh, that came out a little easier than I thought it would. There, I got it.
You get it?
Yeah.
I'd go out as far as I could. It's on a spring.
No, it's not. Yeah, there it is.
That make it fall? Tell me if you see the motor going up.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
As far as it'll go.
well, you kind of got that wood cockeyed. You might want to.
Well, I mean, it ain't going nowhere.
All right. Try and take that out then.
might need to see if it'll go up any higher.
All right. Had to cut the oil pan to get it out because the front of the pan wouldn't clear the main cap. Doesn't really matter because there's our culprit. We couldn't see that because the cross member, the frame cross member, was hiding it. There was no way to see it. I only saw it once I started pulling the pan back out of the car. No way to see it at all. Now you can see that it hit, boom, right through. You can see the windage tray, rod cap.
Watch your fingers.
Here, get it out of there.
Trying to get that out of there.
Now it's kind of, there's the bearing. There's the rod cap. Is it still connected to the rod?
Yeah, that's what's weird to me is what just one. But then in that picture, we seen the bolt was between something, pried against something, or trying to see if it's a factory bearing. It spun that rod bearing, I think. That is really bad. Can't believe it don't fall out of there. Yeah. I mean, that whole motor would have to be taken apart.
Look at what it did to that rod.
Oh, it's bad. Even if you took that motor out of there and turned it upside down, you probably would literally have to cut that rod.
Look at that rod bent.
To even get the piston out.
There it is. That rod is totally bent.
What a bummer.
This is not the end of the video, but as for the 1960 Pontiac Bonneville Safari wagon, I think it's the end of the line for this car as far as we're concerned right now. Engine's toast, and finding these old Pontiac engines is kind of difficult. They're not like a 350 or a more common engine. And if you find one, you don't know if it's good, you go through the trouble of putting it in there, it could be bad. Even if it is good, maybe the transmission's bad, and you just have all this old antiquated technology not working together. So essentially, probably what someone's going to do with this is buy it and LS it or modernize it, you know, because it's a perfect candidate for it at this point. And plus, even if you tried to keep it all Pontiac, you're fighting all Pontiac stuff. It's hard to find Pontiac stuff and keep everything all kosher, you know. So yeah, I did not expect that. If anybody ever thinks these videos are somehow like scripted or we know about the car before we buy them, we don't. It's all real. I didn't know that engine was like that. I mean, there was no way to know. I only saw the hole in that pan after I pulled the pan out from the cross member. You couldn't see it. No way.
See it.
And the guy that sold it to us, he didn't know. There's no way. He said it was locked up, but he didn't know that. Nobody knew that. It does have a clean title, and I probably am going to be putting it up for sale, unfortunately. But it is such a cool car. I really wanted to see this one go. It was the first wagon on the channel. I had higher hopes, but sometimes you get popped, you know. Sometimes you get hit. It's just the way it goes sometimes.
Don't always work out perfect.
No.
Sometimes it does. You go in spells, everything's good, but then you get that one.
Yeah, it just doesn't even make any sense. I mean, we've gotten lucky on things that looked 10 times worse than this. I mean, come on, look at that mine car we brought home. Look at that, what was that 46 Chevy yellow 1-ton dually we brought home. That thing was totally, should never have ran. I mean, we've had things that you look at and on the surface you think that will never go, and it goes. And then you look at this and you swear it'll go. Look at how nice it is. The paint's not bad, and
I
it's
thought
not
this car
rotted
would
out.
go.
Yeah, it's not rotted out. It had an air cleaner on it, had a hood on it. Everything looks good. Not a lot of rat poop. No, thrown rod, bent rod, whatever. Spun rod. So it's just the brakes. I mean, you can't know it all. You can't win them all. You can't have the foresight for them all. It just is what it is. It's raining out here, sprinkling.
Raining in Tucson. This is the storm that's going to get you guys.
Yeah, because if it rains here, you guys get snow, ice, sleet, and all kinds of storms. For us, it's kind of a little nicer. So with the Pontiac's engine being cooked, there's some other things that I want to do in the meantime that I've been wanting to do. And you guys remember this 47 Dodge 1-ton. This truck is so cool. I've had it on the channel. I did a couple videos on it, and it's been sitting out here for a few months, since like around Thanksgiving time. And there's some things I want to do to it. It's not like completely done. It just needs some small things. If you guys remember, I put an interior in it. I put a mat in it, and the seat was already kind of like that. I put door panels in it. I put a headliner in it. I redid the brakes, all the factory brakes I redid, master cylinder, all that stuff. I put a new gas tank in it, just all the things that it needs to be roadworthy. But it still needs a few final touches to be really up to snuff. And when I drove it on the test drive, it ran perfect. Never had a problem with it running, but it would quit. I'd drive it for a little bit and it would just quit, starve for fuel. So I had the carburetor rebuilt. I usually rebuild my own carburetors, but at the time, a few months ago, I was really busy, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to get to it. So I had a gentleman in town rebuild this carburetor. Old guy, good old boy. I know he does good work. He's been rebuilding carburetors, I don't even know, since my dad was a kid. So he rebuilt this for us and slapped this bad boy on there and fixed our fuel issue. And the lights quit working for some reason. Like the headlights and stuff worked, but then they just all quit. All the lights quit. Got to figure out why the lights aren't working. I think that's it. Carburetor, the fuel, the lights quit working. Oh, we've always had charging problems because I put an 8-volt battery on it instead of a 6-volt. And I can hear the regulator clicking, but it doesn't really want to do anything. Probably because it's 8-volt battery, 6-volt regulator. It's not happy. It's not in a symbiotic relationship. It's fighting itself. So I want to fix the charging issue. This is our vacuum advance. Stick the old oil bath on her. And she's like brand new. not going anywhere. I got the battery for this on the charger right now. It's going to take a while to charge it because I made a rookie move and I left the key on and it just totally killed that battery down to 0. So I'm letting that charge up. That'll be a little bit. But in the meantime, I want to get a Cummins engine or two out of here and see if they run, because I want to put them up for sale. So I have this big old line of cars here for sale. This one's not for sale. I'm taking the engine out of that GMC because it's a 302. It's pretty rare. But the rest of these are for sale. I'll let you guys know at the end what I want for them. But I bought these 2 Cummins engines that are in here last year, like probably 3 months ago. And I was waiting for when I had some time to see if they ran, because you always get more money when you put them up for sale and you can show they run. I've been meaning to do this. So I bought this container to store stuff like this in here. Stuff that's worth something, stuff that I am going to sell eventually, and yeah, that's the deal. So this is a 283 and a Power Glide that the guy who I bought the 47 Dodge off of are working on right now. He gave me this, and I'm waiting to find a cool old 60s or something Chevy car or truck to put that drivetrain in, because yeah, it's all right there, it's ready to go. But what we're working on now is these Cummins engines. So one of these, I can't remember, one of them I don't think is gonna run right, may give us some trouble. I think it's this one, because there's some rust down in the intake, and when I try to turn it over, it kind of hits a hard spot, so I think there's a rust ridge in that one. But this is the one I think is a known good. So I want to try and get this one out and see if we can make it run. Yeah, because it has the intake horn on it. I think I bought that one for $1,500, and I bought this for $2,000, but it had the transmission with it. So if you can list these on Facebook with an engine and trans, complete drivetrain, known good, show that it runs, it's worth $3,500 for sure. So this one's missing a few things. It's missing the oil feed tube, it's missing the thermostat housing, and turbo, and flywheel, and starter. I found a starter in the back here that I think we can put on it. Flywheel, here's one right here I can put on it. May need to get a few flywheel bolts. It's missing a turbo. See that right there? It's gone. She gone. See, there you go. There's your turbo. We need it. Come back here. I think I might have one. These are both first gen turbos. This one. Turbo, starter, flywheel. I'm missing a lift pump. We could use an electric pump, but it'd be nice to have a lift pump. I may have one in my shed. I just tried to fit that starter on the back of that engine. I think that's a 2nd gen Cummins starter because the holes don't line up. I need to go get some flywheel bolts, and I got these 2 turbos here. I won't put these on yet until I know the engine's good. You can run the engine without the turbo. Doesn't hurt it or anything. It's not under a load. It doesn't need the boost anyway. Got our flywheel here. I think I have a starter and a lift pump in here. This looks like a 1st gen starter, I think. That's a lift pump. Yeah, I'll take both of these. Went out to go get a cherry picker from my dad's and also some hardware. I'm missing some bolts and stuff. I need to put some of this together if I'm going to try and make it run. I wasn't going to put the turbo on, but I forgot that there is a pressure feed line to the turbo right here, and if you crank it, even if it doesn't start, you can get, it'll get oil pressure and just squirt out there. Plus I have the turbo, so I'll just set it on there anyway. I don't have a gasket for it, but whatever. This is for test purposes. The 2nd turbo I have has the feed line. Take this off. I have just this irking feeling that this engine is no good. Why would they take all this stuff off? Turbo, flywheel, lift pump, fan, pulley housing. I just have a bad feeling. All right. 2's good enough to start her up. No oil or low oil? Put some in it. Another bad sign. It's not what you want to see in the intake of a diesel. I also found something else that's not good. You can see somebody had a big grinding wheel right here. They hit the power steering, they hit this, but they also hit that. Well, that's where your fuel comes out of the injection pump to go to the injection line. So did they nick it enough to go through and fuel's going to come out or what? I don't know, but yeah, it's not looking good. before I go through the trouble of putting a fuel pump on it and putting a fuel filter on it, which is also missing that I have to pull from a different engine. Let's just see if this thing will crank over in a full revolution. I don't even know. If it doesn't even crank over, we're SOL anyway, so it doesn't even matter. So let's just see if it'll rotate. If the crank sounds healthy, which I'm highly doubting at this point in time, we'll try and finish up with the fuel. This is our negative cable. What's left of the end there. Put our positive on. Alright, let's crank this thing over and see if we got anything. Now, I'm not a negative person, but I don't have high hopes for this. Make sure the torque doesn't turn the whole engine over.
That can't be good.
Well, it got past the rust ridge. Well, this engine's still on probation. I'm still not satisfied. Pour a little tranny fluid in this filter. Helps loosen up the injector. It's just a good lubricant. It doesn't hurt it at all. Sometimes the governors and the internals of the injection pumps on these trucks can get stuck from sitting, and that tranny fluid helps. So we'll leave that loose. Cleaned up this gasket surface, and I don't have the proper gasket for this. This is just for test purposes, and I'm not even sure this engine's gonna run. And another reason for doing this is if this engine has a runaway condition or something like that when I start it up, trying to cover this hole, because you have to stop the air. Sometimes the fuel don't work, you have to stop the air going into it. Usually you can put a piece of wood over the turbo, but turbo's not hooked up to anything. It's just an oil feed, that's all it is. You can't put a piece of wood over this. How are you going to stop air? You can put a piece of wood over that square to stop it if you really had to. Couple bolts in here. At least it's held down now. So if you had this engine in a running driving truck, you wouldn't have to do this part of it. This is the feed line for the injection pump. And if you were like doing like a fuel pump change in a real truck, you'd already have fuel in here, but I want to make sure that this injection pump is getting fuel into the pump itself, that the fuel filter is full and the pump is getting what it should be getting. This is loose, so the fuel shutoff solenoid is gutted. There should be a little plunger in there, and I don't see it. I think this is the mechanical shutoff for the pump. Alright, we're getting fuel out of it. Oh, there's fuel coming out of that one. That's funny. Look at that. When I cracked it loose, we had a little action. All the other ones are dry though. Unbelievable, look at that. We're getting fuel. Wow, I'm surprised. I think we're getting out of all of them. Wet, wet. This thing may run. Boy, I'll be happy if it does. Just go ahead and shut all these. And if this engine has any kind of good compression, we ought to hear something. Close all the injectors. So the thing is the plunger, the plunger in that fuel shutoff solenoid's gone, so it's always on. But this is the mechanical shutoff. So I should be able to use the mechanical shutoff, and if I can't, then I'll have to put the wood over that. So we'll kind of do that so it can't tip over.
Smoke.
We're getting a little bit of something.
Got smoke.
Put some 12-volt juice to this thing. Maybe cranking it over faster will help us out.
Now you're sure the injectors are popping?
Yeah,
You want me to try them again?
I already did, but... Well, we're going to pour some ether to it, just a little bit. It just may need some help.
I'll do the ether, thank you.
Woo! It'll go. Almost had it. I feel like we're so close. Come on, you just gotta give me something here. Ooh. Come on, come on. Come on. Woo! 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 I know you got it. Come on. Man, we're so close, man. Come on. Woo! It's idled down real low. It should be like right here. Well, it'll run. Boom! Dude, I can't believe it. Oh, I thought we were cooked on this one, man, for real. That's a sellable engine, baby. Man, it hazed out the whole side of my house. It's hard to see on the camera, but look. I don't know if you can see that smoke. Man, it's hazy in here. But we got it. We got it. So what I want to do now is see if it'll run on its own without ether, obviously. Stop that. I want to take number one valve cover off just to see or show that it is indeed getting oil pressure. You want to make sure of that. Let's see, I'll take this. There you go. Just put that back on there. Set these off to the side. This is like a 15, I think, or it's a size crescent wrench. Hopefully we do see some oil up here already. I mean, it ran plenty long. Yep, I see oil. I want to actually see it come up though. I'll take this off. Nice and pliable. Those aren't factory for sure, because they would have been black and they wouldn't be that pliable. So somebody's resealed that, which is good. You know, it's good. Now that we know the idle's real low, we'll kind of work the throttle a little bit while we crank it, because the idle should be kind of up a little higher. Here goes nothing. Beautiful. Oil pressure. Yeah, with these 12 valves, especially if I've never heard them ran, I always like to make sure they run or try to see if they'll run, because you always get a story with these that they always ran when pulled, and these motors are worth so much money, you know, about $300 to $3,500 around here, depending on if you know, depending, but around $300 to $3,500. That's a lot of money for just an engine. I don't know any other engine by itself sitting on the ground that's worth that kind of money. So I feel like people are weary, especially because it's diesels. People don't always want to work on them. They're kind of scared of them. You know, they're expensive. So if you just say, well, I think it runs, you know, you're not going to sell it real fast. But if you can show this thing runs, this thing has oil pressure, you put it in, it's going to crank up and fire, you have a higher percentage chance of selling it. And I don't want to sell somebody, it's either one or the other. I don't want to lie to people and say, I think it's good, and it may be not. I either want to tell people, hey, this is a builder junk motor, or hey, this is a runner. You know, you put it in, it's going to run. You don't know that until you try and start it. So I want to be one or the other. I don't want to be in the middle trying to stretch the truth, hoping I can get the price of a running one and not knowing, you know. To me, it's worthwhile to do that. So I have the second engine up here. We're going to see if this one runs. I already hooked up the fuel and whatnot. But this one, they're all different. Making these run is a whole different story. He took the injectors out, I think, to do like a compression check. The return line is off, and the injectors are kind of loose in there, or like the nuts, see that? So what I'm going to do is put these injectors back in and tighten down those lock nuts, and then we'll put the return line on. And luckily, when I bought this engine, I saw that, knowing I was going to try and start it in the future. I bought these. I bought real Cummins ones too. I'm surprised. I bought real Cummins. These are banjo bolts. If you're missing these, you can't just go buy them at the store. You have to order them, because it's not just a bolt that goes in the injector. They have these copper washers, like a strap that seals them. So you need to have these specific bolts to do this. You can move this around just a little bit, but you want them all to be facing perfectly out as possible, because the return line is like perfectly straight. So you don't want one to be facing a little that way, a little that way, a little that way, because you're going to bend it. So you just try and get it sort of in the middle of this play. These have a certain way they'll go in too, so you see how I'm rotating it, and then it'll go down deeper. There's like a lock ball in there. Looking good on the oil. Cool. There, I hear it now. I hear something. I think it's filling. I can feel it. It's coming. There it is. There we go. I can see it coming out now. Alright, nothing left to do but crank it and see if she'll bleed. Got the fuel shutoff solenoid on. Let's do a little bit of cranking action. Coming out, all of them. So we'll go ahead and shut them down, see if this thing will fire off. I think it will. I got a good feeling about this one. All right, fire in the hole. Come on. I saw that little pop. Maybe just a little pop of ether, just a little. Come on. So we have an issue here we're going to have to eradicate. If you notice, watch when I crank this, there's compression leaking past. The injectors are tight and the nuts are tight, but there's, I think it's like somewhere up here, multiple of them. There's compression just, and that's not good. You can't have that. So let me crank it and I'll show you. So you definitely cannot have any compression leaking out like that, and there could be a few reasons why. There's copper washers, not only right here. So these are the sealing washers for the return line, but down in that injector hole, when you tighten this nut down right here, it pushes the injector against the head. Well, there's a copper washer down in there that seals the injector in the head so that, you know, fluid, oil, compression doesn't get out, and it's getting out. Because these were all loose, it could be that they got dirty and they're not sealing. I didn't pull all these out to look. Maybe he lost some of the copper washers and they're not even in there. I don't know. But I have to take all this back apart. Have to take the return lines off, the injector lines off, and pull the injectors out and put new washers in it. Luckily, I have some. I have this stack from Power Driven Diesel that I got when I was doing the race engine for my Rio. I got 3 different sets, thicknesses, and I kept them luckily, so I have at least a set of new ones. It's a homemade injector puller, so we'll have to pull them out. Looks like all the injectors have the washers on them, but you can see they're pretty dirty. See that? See that crud on them? I was probably making it to where it wouldn't seal. All that. I may not need my new washers. I may be able to clean these up if they don't look like they have any grooves in them or cuts or anything. I'll clean up the surface on the washer, clean the injector a little bit, clean the bore out where it mates in the head, and torque them down correctly. So I was just using a wrench. We'll actually do it. It's 44 foot-pounds is the real torque. A little difficult to see down in there, but down there where that copper washer surface meets, you can see how dirty it is. And if you look at this one, I cleaned it. So I'll clean all 6 of them. And I will use the new ones, just to be safe. All right, 44 foot-pounds it is. All right, 44. $44. Okay, everything's back together. Bleed the injectors a little bit again. Crank them down, and we'll see if anything changed. Cool, we're getting fuel. Shut them down. Okay. Okay, let's let her rip. I think they advanced the timing. I can tell by where the position of the injection pump, so that's why it may be trying to kick back. Here it gets slow, like ooh, like it slugs. I can see this pump. I'm pretty sure they advanced the timing on it, but all right, let's do a little bit of ether, see if that helps us. We're really close. See that slot there on the injection pump? There's 3 nuts that hold this on, and this is a big slot. And you can loosen these and rotate the injection pump left or right to retard or advance the timing. And see how you can only see the slot here and not here? They've rotated it as close to the head as they can possibly get it. See how it's like literally touching the head? So they've advanced it pretty far. This is the injection pump on my first gen. See how I can put my finger in there? Nice and easy. They got that thing slammed all the way up against the head, so I think I'm gonna retard the timing on that pump a little bit because that's why it's bucking so hard. So I got the 3 nuts on the pump loose, and I loosened some of these lines that hold the injector, or I'm sorry, I loosened some of these clamps that hold the injector lines down so that they can move and tweak. These pumps are a nightmare. You can loosen this with a wrench. I got an extension on that one for the one in the back, and then there's a third one. They're shaped in a triangle. There's one way down under here. I'm not a big fan of specialty tools, but they sell this injection pump nut tool, and really the only way to get to that is with this wrench. It really sucks. These pumps are really annoying. So let's try and move this. Try to be easy with it. See it moving? Want to kind of get it away from the head there. There we go. Okay, for the millionth time, let's see if this thing will go. Fuel shutoff on. Well, that did it. Wonder why it cut out. Our fuel shutoff didn't unhook. For a second there, I thought it was trying to run away. I was getting a little scared. But it just kind of seems a little fast on the idle, but I wonder why it shut off. Guess we can try it again. Maybe it was running on, like, I don't know. Let's try it again and see if I can work this throttle and get it to run a little longer. Let's see here. Whew, it's a runner. It's a runner. Turbo may need a rebuild. Got oil coming out of the turbo. It usually means bad seals or whatever. I mean, heck, it's old, you know. But the good news is I didn't feel any compression coming out, any of those. And you would see it too. You would see it just like a little vapor. Nothing. So the tightening it down, putting new washers on it, fixed it. Engine's a runner. That lope, that woo woo woo, could be it just hasn't ran long enough. You know, once they run and the injection pump gets cleaned out, because I know there was old fuel in this. I could tell. So maybe once it runs that old fuel out, it'll start running smoother. Kind of tell it started running smoother towards the end there. Also, I have ran into once, if there's no load on the engine, they'll lope. You know, it's like the injection pump is searching, but once you put a torque converter and a transmission and all that behind it and there's a load, it sort of smooths itself out. I had that problem on my Cummins race truck over there. Before I put the transmission behind it, I built a bunch of stuff on it, did a bunch of work to the injection pump, and it loped. And I was really upset, but once I put the transmission behind it, it stopped. None of that's neither here nor there. It's a good engine. It fires on all six. It sounds healthy. It sounds great. And it just took a little bit of work. So yeah, this is a sellable item. I have a transmission to go with this one, so I'll get this listed on Facebook and put it back in the shed or my ocean going container, and we can move on. All right, after that little escapade, cleaned everything up, had about every tool in the toolbox out, we can get back to the original plot of the movie, the Dodge. I charged the battery up. It did take a charge, took a while, but I think it did take a charge. So we'll set the battery in and we'll see if it starts. I love this. My friend Richard gave this to me. This is a battery handle for all the batteries that don't have handles. I can't stand it when batteries don't come with handles. Why don't they all come with them? Especially in these old trucks where the batteries are down in the floor and you have to pull the battery out by your fingertips. Literally. Let's see if it's getting fuel. Yeah? Come on. You better start before this battery goes dead. Like a Swiss watch. I knew it. Listen to that thing purr. This is just such a nice truck. Alright, so I finally got the headlight switch out. I had to be really careful because all those wires are so brittle. They're just all about to break in that cloth wrapped wiring. So I got them all out, and what I figured out was there's a fuse in here and it was blown. This is a new one. Alright, but when I put the new one in, see how it doesn't touch this? The old fuse had like a domed top on it. I don't know, it was a little bit taller. And when you put it in there, it went up against that. To combat that problem, I went to Ace Hardware and bought this. I don't know, it's just a set screw. It's just something to make it taller but still metal and conductive. So it will push up. I'm smart enough to get it. Okay. See that? And then it locks like a light bulb. So we'll see if this fixes our problem, because yeah, the headlight switch wasn't sending power out to anything. So I have a battery here and we're gonna test the headlight switch with the fuse in it. Got power hooked up, all right? Got our light. One pull, second pull. It's working. Second peg or whatever. Pull. Working. And pull once, pull twice, it's off, so that's probably parking lights. All the way is off. Then we'll go back off. Pull once, nothing. Pull twice, on. So this peg is probably the headlights. And then if you pull the fuse out, oh. Okay, so yeah. It's working. Alright, check it out. Boom. Alright, so yeah, no, it's not the... I thought it was the headlight switch. I was like, man, I gotta sit here and wait a week for this thing to come in if I have to order it. Or sometimes you can take these apart, these little tabs. Dad and I have done it before. In some extreme cases, if a headlight switch isn't available for sale or whatever, it's really expensive, you can undo these. Like, you can uncrimp them, and this board comes off, and you can get in there and actually lube these headlight switches up and then recrimp everything. And yeah, it's tedious, but you can do it. I'm making some progress. I've been fighting these lights for the better part of a day, all day now. So I got the headlight switch put in, headlights still wouldn't work. I traced it to the dimmer switch, and I was able to put another dimmer switch in it that Dad had. So this is still, it's an older one, but not as old as 47. So I got that put in there, and then the headlights started working correctly, but this headlight is burnt out. The passenger side is burnt out, the driver's side one's good, but I went ahead and got 2 new headlights. You can see them right there. Also, one of the dash lights was out, so I got another one, but I had to do a little trick to it. When I put this 6-volt miniature dash bulb in there, I guess the locking prongs are further down, so when you put it in there, it doesn't quite go down far enough to hit the wire that gives it power. So I soldered on this little end here just to make it a little longer so we can get power. So the light that wasn't working was the one over here, the farthest to the passenger side. So if I put this in there, let's see if we can get it to work. So let's do key on. Alright, dash lights are on. A little bit hard to tell because it's still daylight, but there you go. On, off, on, off. Alright, they all work. Now for the headlights. I can't believe O'Reilly's actually carries 6-volt headlights. I was pretty pleased with that. They were $14 a piece, which I thought was pretty fair. So, actually, let's do the one that's burnt out, because I want to make sure I was right about the headlight. I'm almost positive. I checked it with a test light and everything. Plus, this bulb obviously is stopped sealing. There's moss growing in it and everything. There it is. Absolutely perfect. Put our headlight ring in. Nice, it looks good. Nice and new, bright white light. Ooh, it's hot. Perfect. There. Yeah. There we go. Sweet. That should be dims. High beam, low beam, high beam, low beam. I even made the bright indicator light work on the dash. That is my favorite part. Okay. Look at this old headlight. It's got moss growing in it. You can see it's kind of green, but like it says, sealed beam. Corcoran Brown, Cincinnati, Ohio. Made in USA. Wow. Wow, did we build some cool stuff. We built everything. And as a side note, I also fixed the taillight, and even better, the brake light. The original pressure switch in the master cylinder does work. I love it when stuff works. I like all the little doodads and trinkets to do their thing. Now that we have the truck pretty much squared away, with lights working, fuel being delivered, runs great, drives great, this thing is never charged right, and every time you run the truck you can hear that click, 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 and it's the regulator. And I saw a video online of how you can adjust these regulators. Never have done it before. I don't know if we're gonna be successful, but I'm gonna try. Alright, so here's the regulator. So I'm not adjusting it right now. There's a set of 3 contacts in here that I'm gonna sand. So this voltage regulator is a 3-bank regulator. There's 3 coils here. So this one is your cutout winding, this is your current regulator, and this is your voltage regulator. And there's tabs here. There's springs and tabs that they're held on by. And apparently if you bend this tab down and give it more spring tension, it will increase the voltage before it cuts out. So this is the tab we're looking at bending. So I'm gonna start the truck up and see if we can get this thing to charge. Let me make sure I can get on this with a pair of pliers. Maybe from the top. Let's put some choke. It's kind of cold. I'm gonna have to shut this butterfly to open up the other one to raise the idle. Oh, give me a sec here. Reason I'm raising the idle is because generators aren't like alternators. Okay, we're going up. I know it's dark. I bent the tab down and I checked it at the battery and it's still 8.2 volts. I don't think it's doing anything now. I don't know why sanding it would have messed it up, but let me keep looking into it. So I have this file that wedge it in there, we get 9.2 volts. We're getting 35 amps. That's what it should be. That's correct. if I let off, it goes back to 0 and 8.7. So I bent the tab down a little bit farther to create some more spring tension on that. And we're at 9.3 voltage. So let's turn on the headlights. Goes down. We're at 9 volts charging. We'll go high beam, low beam, high beam, low beam. Man, it's working. Wow, I've never done that before. That's a really cool little party trick I know now. I like to think about the time in which this truck was made while you're driving it. It's so period correct and original, and there's nothing to take your mind off of the fact that it's 1947. There's no digital gauges, there's no like updated seat or anything. And I think about what life might have been like in 1947. You know, we had just won World War II. We'd emerged as a world superpower. This truck was pretty much made at the height of our industrial capability. Every single piece, every single part, everything inside the engine, outside the engine, every headlight bezel, every headlight, every stitch of fabric, every headliner, every bed slat of wood said Made in USA on it. And this truck was made for farmers and ranchers and people in small towns all across this country who needed a truck. They had families to take care of. They were out in the middle of nowhere. We just came out of the Great Depression, and Lowell's grandfather, who I bought the truck from, you know, it was single family owned until I got it, remember that. His grandfather bought it, and he was obviously a product of the Great Depression, and it showed because he kept it forever. Bought it in 1947, kept it through the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, gave it to Lowell in the 80s, and Lowell had it for another 30 years. You know, this people bought things and they never got rid of them. They never knew when they would need it again. And a brand new shiny thing wasn't just always around the corner in their minds, because they remember when they didn't have anything and when you didn't know when you were going to get anything. Well, I know we kind of jumped around in this video and did a little bit of switch hitting. Pontiac wagon, being as what that turned out to be, kind of cut me short on the work I was going to do to it. Luckily, I didn't order any parts for it. That's why I don't order a big bunch of parts before I dig into an engine, and because that sometimes you find that stuff, and there was no outside indications of that. But you always have to check that stuff before you say, oh, let's order a carb kit, let's order plug wires, let's order tires, let's order brakes, let's order everything. You got to look at that stuff. And basically, because the video on that car got cut short by the bent rod, it freed me up some time to do other things I've been meaning to do, getting those Cummins engines running. I've had those in that ocean going container for probably 4 or 5 months, waiting for some time to make sure they're running so I could sell them. I've been meaning to fix this Dodge. I've been meaning to do all that stuff that I've been putting off. The lights, the headlights work now, it's charging correctly, all the dash lights work, the tail light works, the brake light works, everything works. It runs good. I put the carburetor on it, it's not stalling out anymore. So this truck is essentially a usable item. You could put it back into use. I mean, it just runs great. You could use it for putzing around, going around town, taking it to car shows. You could probably even do some light hauling with it, put stuff in the bed, whatever, dump runs. I mean, the truck is absolutely usable. It cranks up like fast. I mean, it cranks up beautiful. Runs like a friggin' Swiss watch. I mean, this truck's totally service ready. So I appreciate you guys watching these videos. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. It really means a lot to the YouTube algorithm to watch all the way through. And hey, pick yourself up a t-shirt. I don't always mention it, I'm wearing a jacket right now, but I got 3 different t-shirt designs. It really helps the channel out when you guys order shirts. thetravisb.com. I'll also put a link to the website in the description of this video. And thank you to everybody who's bought merch and bought shirts. It's awesome. I really thank you guys. Shirts are going all around the world. They're going to Texas and California and the UK, and some are going to South Africa, some are going to Canada. So thank you to all my out-of-country watchers, because there's quite a few of you who like seeing this old stuff come back to life just as much as I do. I'll show you what the next video is too, because you've been so nice to stay this long. You've seen this kind of sitting over here in the wings. I love this truck and I can't wait to start working on this thing. This is a 49 Chevrolet 3/4 ton long bed, and I usually try to kind of refrain from buying 3/4 ton long beds because, let's face it, at some point, you have to turn them. You can't keep them all. And 3/4 ton long beds are sort of a more difficult sell because, well, it's not a half-ton short bed. Everybody wants a half-ton short bed. But I made an exception because this truck is just got the look. I bought it off of a lady whose husband had died, and her husband had did a bunch of work to this truck back in the late 90s, which was very good work, and I'm very happy he did it. He did the engine, which got a 235 in it. He did a wiring harness. He put an upgraded rear end in it so it can go a little faster. All that stuff is really, really worth it. I mean, that's really worth it because you don't want to do all that stuff yourself. And what sold me on this truck was, it's hard to read that, but it says Strader Drilling Co. This was a, I don't know, drilling company, Waterwell, I'm guessing, drilling company's truck. And then this right here, check that out. Kenboy Chevrolet, Hebron, Nebraska. That's cool. I love that. I've never seen a dealer tag like that. And that building actually still exists. And I think it's a museum. But yeah, this is a really cool truck. I love the advanced design 47 to 53 body styles. So we'll probably, this will be in the next video. Will it run and drive? I haven't touched it yet. I haven't put a battery on it and nothing. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.